Ready Check Radio.
Stand by as we get ready to serve up all your news this week in the world of gaming. Welcome to Gaming Gumbo. What's up, Internet? It's Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. That means here on Ready Check Radio, it's time for Gaming Gumbo, your weekly gaming wrap-up. I'm your host, as always, Mike Byrne, a.k.a. Magic Man, and welcome. We're doing the show live like we do every week at twitch.tv/Ready Check Radio. We've got chat standing by to chime in on all of our wonderful topics in the world of gaming this week. If you're watching on YouTube, on the site, or listening on Audible or Spotify, thank you so much. While you're there, give it a like, a subscribe, turn on those notifications, all that fun stuff that feeds the ever-changing algorithms on all of those fun platforms. This is episode 128. We've got Blizzard stuff to talk about. We've got a little bit of, I don't know if anybody heard about a game, Silksong. If not, we'll catch you up on what that is. Maybe you haven't heard of it, and we'll talk about that a little bit. We've got some Destiny 2 news, so we've got Yod here and everything. Yod, we'll get to you in just a second because we also have on the line, welcome back from the extended break, Mr. Troy Blackburn, the Noob Fridge. What's up, sir? How are you?
Guess who got a 3D printer for his birthday?
No.
Ooh.
And guess who's been printing stuff non-frickin' stop since then?
I have considered, okay, so first off, now I got to ask you, we're going to delay shit here. Did you get like a resin one? Did you get the spool one? Like, what is your medium?
No, I got a FDA. It's the spool one.
Yeah.
I got the Bamboo Lab P1S with the AMS system on top, where you can print up to 4 different colors at once. And you can connect other AMS systems to it to give yourself more colors if you want to.
That is honestly the one I've been considering. I've been considering a 3D printer for so long, but here's the danger. And you will be my test guinea pig for this now. Because I am a tabletop gamer. You are a tabletop gamer. And owning a 3D printer, being a tabletop gamer, is exceedingly dangerous and expensive.
For 2 years, I asked my wife, I was like, I want to get a 3D printer. And she would say no. And I would say, but I'll use it. And she goes,
you definitely would. Like, absolutely. Oh, no, he froze.
So I've been printing 3D inserts for my board games and stuff right now is where I've started.
Oh, just like storage trays, stuff like that.
Yeah, like storage trays, stuff like that. That's where I'm starting. There's lots of nice ones. You can buy them from Etsy. Some really good ones for like $2 or $3 for just the files to print out. Or there's some for free on like Maker World and stuff like that. So that's where I'm starting. I'm just downloading stuff. I did modify one today, so that's my first time getting into a CAD and really starting to play with that. So I did modify some dimensions on one today to fit something more like what I wanted. So it'll be interesting to see how much deeper into that I get.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you have to keep us posted. I've been on the fence for a 3D printer for about 2 years now. So,
dude, I love it. It's such a blast. I've been printing stuff for people at work. I'm already selling like dinosaurs and stuff like that for Christmas. It's crazy.
What have you been playing lately since we had the kind of summer break here with everybody's schedules getting really busy, mostly mine, but occasionally some of the hosts. What you been playing lately?
Well, let me tell you what I've not been playing that's going to shock you.
Oh.
Dune Awakening.
Really?
Haven't touched it. I don't know what happened. Somewhere along the way, it kind of lost me. And I have not. Now, there's a free weekend this weekend.
And a free update and a DLC, isn't there? That all came today.
Yeah. And there's like a 20% discount if you decide to buy it over the free weekend, something like that. I've got the email in my, that got sent to me, but they know their target audience. They're definitely sending me emails. But yeah, I haven't touched Dune Awakening. I figured that would be probably the biggest surprise I could put on here.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, because that was like crack for you from release day. I mean, even before we were covering it on MMO Bomb together, and you've been watching it for forever. So what are you playing in instead? Or are you back to Lord of the Rings Online again?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Lotro.
Oh my god.
Back to Lotro. Also on the line,
Yeah.
resident artist of Ready Check Radio, Yod. Yod sent me yesterday the new Val assets, so expect
Yes.
an overlay package change between today's show and next week's Gaming Gumbo.
It's a minor tweak.
Minor
It's a
tweaks.
minor
I haven't
tweak.
seen it yet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I heard there
minor.
may be a bazooka involved. That's all I've heard.
It is possible.
It's possible.
Now, see, if I got a 3D printer, I'd be even in more trouble, because like you can get models for this thing in like 1/300 scale, which is like human sized. So I'd be printing parts.
I think even like Troy and I being and Yod is a tabletop gamer too, but
Yeah.
I think being tabletop gamers, Troy and I already have kind of like a that could be bad, but then you add in Yod being not only a tabletop gamer but also a creative, Troy. Like Yod is by far the creative out of the three of us when it comes to physical mediums, drawing and things like that. Your wife would murder you, Yod. Like, she would murder you.
She would have some things she wanted printed out too. But yeah, there'd be so much Macross stuff that the house couldn't hold it all. So yeah, that could be an issue.
Maybe. Well, let's start getting to the news, gents, so that we're not here all day. And we're going to kick it off with, if you don't know, Steam kind of broke a little bit late last week. Just a wee bit. And some other sites maybe were selling keys that they didn't actually have on hand.
What?
Yeah, some third-party vendors.
I hear about that.
Some reputable third-party vendors, and this isn't exclusive to this game. They've done it before, where they have a certain set of keys.
Right.
They sell more than that, and so a bunch of people get, hey, you're gonna have to wait for keys, and then within an hour or a day, they get the extra keys and send them out. But it's kind of a shitty practice sometimes because you don't know about that when you're paying. They don't let you know, hey, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. So humble, I'm looking at you. But yeah, so Silksong, Hollow Knight Silksong, which I'm gonna tell you, a Torchwick has just been over the moon for this game for a long time. Yeah. It basically broke the entire internet. Steam was having massive issues. Other sites were having issues getting keys and keeping their pages up. It basically broke the internet. And it's funny to see that, Yod, because just a mere 5 weeks ago, the game was a meme. Right? Is the game going to be shown at the next X showing, whether that's Summer Game Fest or the Game Awards or whatever? Where's Silksong? Where's Silksong? Where's Silksong?
Right.
Never to be seen. And Torchwick, I busted his balls about this so many times. Like, no, you're not going to see Silksong. And then we saw Silksong and they were like, P.S., by the way, it's coming in 2 weeks. Like, it was like, oh, okay.
I mean,
yeah, we'll see you. As a huge fan of Metroidvanias in general, I have to say the original Hollow Knight never stuck with me, and it's something Torchwick busts my balls about all the time. I have not personally played Silksong yet. I know Torchwick is enamored with it. I know a lot of the internet is enamored with it. Troy, Hollow Knight, the original, Silksong, where do you fall on this? Have you been following it? Did you play the original? Are you playing this? What's going on your side?
I've played a little bit of the original on my Steam Deck. I can't say that I'm one of the ones that I'm like you. It didn't really grab me as much, but I've definitely played some of it on the Steam Deck, and I can see why people definitely enjoy it and why it became such a big deal in the genre. But to see a sequel like this that I haven't been following, to be honest with you, blow up and become such a big deal from an independent developer and make such a big mark in the industry. It makes my gamer heart feel good. It really does.
Peaked on Steam, and again, this is just on Steam, Yod. Peaked at a little under 440,000, a little over 460,000 all time. And right now, it's still over 270,000. And again, that is just on the Steam platform. So
right,
doing all right.
Yeah, that is impressive as all hell. And I can really see how it would work well on a Steam Deck or some, the more mobile platforms over, sitting at your computer and doing it. Because
it played really well on the Steam Deck.
The original, yeah.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah.
And I
Actually,
assume
how
this
is
one,
it doing on Steam Deck? Sorry, go ahead, Yod. I'm going to look that up.
I would assume this one's just as compatible on Steam Deck as the original, because I don't think they really upped much on the graphics end. I mean, it looks cute, it looks fun, but the gameplay and stuff looks pretty standard.
Yeah, I mean, it is Steam Deck verified, so I would assume
Yeah.
that it's doing pretty well. I'll eventually get it. You know what I'll do? I'll just play Torchwick because we family share.
Just play his.
Yeah, we family
Yeah.
share. I'm gonna have to play his. Although the problem is, I'm not gonna get to play it for like 2 years. The kid's never off of the damn game.
But
Like, I'm
that's
sure
'cause
if
you
I
just have-
check on Steam right now, he's probably on it while listening to the show, typing LMAO in our chat.
that's because you have to force him to play tactics, so then you can play this.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna start saying, "Aren't you in class? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?" Troy, I couldn't think of a more fitting person to bring and talk about our next topic here, because
Yes.
Marvel Rivals could be adding loot boxes. Could be. This is not confirmed yet. It's according to a data mine. Overwatch has already had its loot box run and controversies throughout the years, right? And now Marvel Rivals, the very successful, I don't even know I'd call it a new kid on the block anymore, but kid on the block is maybe looking at some loot boxes. Now, to be very clear, one, not only is this data mine stuff that may or may not come to the game at all, but even if it does, the people that have data mined it, including Rivals Info, has said, I've seen nothing referenced to purchasing a loot box. So this could very well just end up being earned from challenges or the upcoming battle pass, things like that. So I've seen mixed opinions on this, ironically, and that's kind of funny for something as what used to be very divisive as loot boxes, which was just get them the hell out of here. Now, maybe if you're willing to put them in there as just rewards, Rocket League has still done it to this day, right? Their drops are the random crate stuff, and you can't buy them. You can only buy exactly what you want. Nobody seems to mind that one. What do you think, Troy, with your Rivals?
I think as long as it's just game rewards for playing the game, I think they're fine. But I still think that's slippery slope territory. I would rather just not see them in the game. I would rather not see them in battle passes. I would like to know if I'm spending X amount of money on a battle pass, these are the things I'm going to get. And the way they've got it laid out now, it tells you when you're going to get them. So I'm still pretty against loot boxes, but there's no doubt they sold and they made money and they make money for a reason. They're a feel-good machine. If done right, they can be a really good, sort of a reaffirming of, you enjoy this game. Here's this little dopamine hit. Here's this little dopamine hit as you go along. Excuse me. So they can be, something that drives players back into the game and really rewards players. But to me, it's just too dangerous that you get into now you can spend the in-game currency to get an extra loot box. And then it turns into, now you can spend some of the cash shop currency to get an extra loot box. And I don't like that at all, and I don't like where that could head. I would rather they just stay out of the game.
And again, no promises that they will even come to the game at all, much less be anything besides just a gameplay reward. But Yad, seeing it as anything above and beyond a gameplay reward is getting harder and harder in today's climate, mostly thanks to our brethren and sister in the EU, right? No thanks to the United States laws in any way, shape, or form. But loot boxes for cash have become much harder to implement without sacrificing portions of your player base. And so a lot of companies have just found other ways to monetize around it. How do you feel about them being added as just random in-game rewards, nothing more, nothing less? Again, if it even happens.
Yeah, if it even happens, if it's just random in-game rewards. And one of the things that I've seen Marvel Rivals, just looking at it casually over Overwatch, is that they seem to, I don't know how else to put it, be a little more honest with what they're delivering. They go, this is what it is, this is what we're giving you, and that's what you get. So in the case of loot boxes, if they do come out and say, hey, this is what we're doing with it, this is how it is, this is how it's going to work, I get the feeling that that's how they're going to implement it, all things considered. Now, that being said, it, for all we know, they could go to monetary route, they could try to monetize it, and as you said, it's a little harder these days with how loot boxes are viewed as a form of gambling as opposed to just random dopamine hits.
Yeah.
So, if it's a guaranteed, you progress through the battle pass, you get one. You progress through the battle pass, you get two. That type of thing. I don't see a problem with it. Like Troy said, it's a dopamine hit. People like dopamine. It's it is what it is. So it all depends on how they implement it and if they leave it that way, as opposed to trying to slyly pull in. By the way, since you liked it so much, you can get more this way.
Just
The
here's
first
a
hit
few
is
more.
free.
Here's a few
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, the first one is free, but if you want some more,
Yeah. I mean, on the Overwatch side of things, there's actually some changes coming there too. Obviously, season changes and new heroes and fun stuff
Right.
like that. But in the latest director's take on their front, they're talking about 2026 already. We know Blizzard is talking about 2026 from a World of Warcraft standpoint, having revealed Midnight, which we talked about last week. But now, in the latest director's take, I'm not really sure what to expect. Obviously, the usual stuff, but as they look to 2026, Aaron Keller, game director, says the overall strategy that we've been using to guide our releases is to start every year with a huge game-defining moment and then follow it up with a big mid-year beat. We tested this strategy in 2024 with the launch of Season 9, which included a new version of our competitive system, as well as a host of gameplay changes such as passive healing. At the time, we weren't sure if we were ready to commit to this annual cadence since it was untested for us. We worried that making changes to the core game could turn people away from it. Fortunately, you've reacted pretty positively. So, we have made plans to do the same thing this year with the release of Perks in Season 15. When I look back at the history of our releases in Overwatch, I think we've been too conservative. As we release more game-defining features, it seems to increase your excitement for the future of the game. It does the same for us. Coming away from that lesson, I can now say that we're happily pursuing this cadence as the general direction for the Overwatch year. We aim to kick the year off with something huge that changes the way people think about playing the game, and I think we're getting comfortable making these bigger and bigger each year. Bold words there, Troy. Bold words from a game that's kind of, if we're being honest, got its, face slapped around a little bit over the last 12 months by the aforementioned Marvel rivals.
Yeah, and they've got an opportunity here, though, because the Marvel Rivals player base has lulled a little bit. They are sort of in a decline at the moment, and seeing some players walk away or not log in daily or not play as much. So they've got an opportunity to possibly make a comeback. The question is, can they rise above the noise and really deliver on promises or things that they say that they could do in the future? Maybe promises or not promises, whatever you want to call them. But they have a bad track record of keeping promises and doing the things that they say they're going to do. And you continue to look back at the history of Overwatch 2 itself, the sequel, and it's just not there. It's just there's nothing there that makes you think, oh yeah, it's going to get better. Like it could get better, but the track record doesn't say it's going to.
Yeah. People tend to just still not forgive and forget the whole PvE
right.
thing.
Well, and I have to admit, I'm one of those people because I liked the characters. I wanted to play in a PvE setting. I wanted more storyline. And no, they just completely fumbled it. Essentially repackaged the first game and slapped a number 2 on it. it hurts. And like Troy said, they haven't delivered on their promises in the past. So what makes you think they're going to deliver on these promises? The other issue I see is a little bit in relation to things that have happened in like Destiny 2, where they do make big sweeping changes here and there, like once every season or whatever. But the changes they make aren't favorable to the players. And then they start hemorrhaging players more because they turn the game into something that isn't enjoyable anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
and
It's
the
like
other thing
if you're
is
gonna talk about changing the way you play Overwatch, like
right,
that's fundamental, man. Like, okay,
right,
are we
right.
just
And if you're
talking new modes? Are we talking, I don't want to say PvE because I think that ship they've clearly
that's
said that
gone.
that's not gonna
Never
be,
seeing that.
what
Yeah,
they're doing. But how many different ways can you play a team-based hero shooter before you're playing
exactly,
something else?
exactly. And the other thing is like bigger and better every year. You can't really do that because then you're overworking your employees that are creating great things for your game because you're constantly making them stress out about gotta be better, gotta be bigger, gotta be better, gotta be bigger, and it'll implode.
Yeah, it's going to be
It'll
interesting to
definitely
see what
implode.
it is. I mean,
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
wish them luck. I love having competition in the space. I think Overwatch 2 is better because Marvel Rivals exists. If that
Oh,
makes sense, right? It
right.
forces them to up their game a little bit. Speaking of competition, this isn't in the show notes though. Have you guys seen Blizzard while we're talking about them just like aggressively going after World of Warcraft private servers lately?
No. Well, what's
Oh,
been
have they
happening?
been?
Yeah, so they shot Turtle Wow with a cease and desist, and then are filing or have filed a lawsuit against them. Um, there have been multiple other ones. Project Epoch got a cease and desist and closed down. Wow, private servers. There was a third one I'm missing off the top of my head the name of it. Everlook is closing its EU branch after getting a cease and desist from Blizzard. So a lot of these private servers, Turtle Wow seems to be like the big one right now because they have said via their discords and things like that no, we're going to leave this up. Like, don't worry about it. We're fine. And so charges filed. Blizzard in a weird spot here, right? Because a lot of these, Troy, are kind of hard to go after, right? They've got to be one, is it worth our time and our money to go after it? What is the level of infringement that's being done here on a private server? And then can we find somebody to sue, right? Because there's no guarantee
Yeah.
that the entities running it are in a jurisdiction that you have reasonable legal access to. Things are hosted and then VPN'd, and sometimes you don't know. So Blizzard actually putting RICO charges in the filing there, which opens
wow.
up some interesting possibilities as far as litigation techniques and investigation techniques. But yeah, so we've had a couple just get the cease and desist. As somebody, by the way, who has been on the receiving end of multiple cease and desists, you have two options to a cease and desist, right? You can ignore it or politely decline. I'll put that in the same box because they're both effectively the same response. Or you can cease and desist. And we kind of see both avenues being played here with Everlook closing its EU branch and Project Epoch saying, nope, we're done too. And then we see Turtle Wow saying, nah, we're going to be fine. This is a challenging time. They believe that not only could they duck this, but they can also, hey, if you catch where it's hosted, we'll just host it somewhere else. And then you see other ones like, remember Nostralius? Was that it? Way back. I mean, this was in our Game Breaker days.
Something,
right?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was Classic WoW, right? Before Classic WoW.
Mhm.
And eventually that team, many of them ended up folded into Blizzard as Classic WoW started to become a thing in the retail box. So I've not only have I received, now that I think about it, multiple cease and desists. I have received multiple cease and desists from Activision Blizzard. Like,
What have you been doing?
specifically, most of it related to Bobby Kotick. Yeah, Bobby Kotick's lawyers, when he was there, were particularly aggressive. The lawyers themselves were very nice, and I replied. One article, I think I did talk to them a bit, and kind of we clarified some language. The context of the piece was not changed. We just clarified some language, and that change I was okay with after talking to the lawyers. There was another set of lawyers for a different one where I was just like, no, I'm not changing this. We've done nothing wrong. Sue us, which scared the hell out of Luis, the guy who owns MMO Bomb. But I was like, yeah, they're not suing us. They have no grounds to sue. This is, they just don't want. They want to try to take down negative coverage. God bless them.
Yeah, a lot of times it's just a threat. And,
It's interesting watching them go after these private servers, though, because like I still look and I'm like, I don't want to name any names because I don't want to out anybody, but there is a very, very popular one that has done YouTube advertising, like Blizzard is alleging Turtle WoW has done, and alleging Turtle
I've
WoW
seen
has
YouTube ads for private servers.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. We've played it. I've streamed it. I've streamed it. But that one, like, nobody goes after. And it's kind of like, well, why? There could be a multitude of reasons, right? Like, they're interested in what's going on there and they want to watch it for a little while longer, maybe steal some ideas from it. It's just not financially beneficial to go after it. There's no known entity behind it. There could be a myriad of reasons. Anybody speculating probably doesn't know unless they work for Blizzard. But it is interesting to watch from my side. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. And while we're keeping an eye on MMO news, here's an interesting one for you.
What do we have here?
Yeah, here's an interesting one for you MMO fans. In an interview, John Haidt, president of Wizards of the Coast, former World of Warcraft, right? Former World of Warcraft team, now president of Wizards of the Coast. He is actually all for a new MMO in the Dungeons and Dragons universe. He says, given the enormous, they pointed out Turbine has one of those, right?
Yeah.
Don't know if you know. And he says, yeah, but he thinks there's room for a new one. His exact quote is, I'd love to have that. I think that we'll want to rethink what an MMO is in this day and age. I think the traditional model that Blizzard, well, even before that, Ultima Online, EverQuest pursued, that could be updating. I think in our case, it's probably a crawl, walk, run situation. We want to make sure that we've assembled the talent, we have the back-end technology, we have the plans to pursue. But of course, there's a glimmer in my eye. I want to see that happen. He drops hints all the time to his team saying, I think technology can help us a lot too, to make some of the things that were difficult to accomplish back in the day a lot easier. Probably a reference to AI there. We laid the foundation for great storytelling and great world building. We can adapt to different styles of play, different distribution methods, and he thinks there's always an opportunity to do something revolutionary rather than evolutionary. I gotta ask, DDO exists, okay, aged, and a very kind of unique MMO in its approach to the way it's an MMO, with its kind of mini adventures, reminiscent almost of a D&D tabletop. But this is also the company that gave us Magic Legends, Troy, which just was not good. Turning Magic the Gathering into an ARPG Diablo-esque game. That did not work and went away very quickly. But I still think he's probably not wrong. There is an appeal there in my heart for a D&D MMO. But some of what he's saying makes me a little nervous. I don't know. Where do you sit on it?
Yeah, there's definitely room for something that has something new, modern, that has the Dungeons and Dragons name on it. because you've got DDO, you've got Neverwinter, but you've got both of those have aged and don't play as modern as some other MMOs do or some other games do that don't want to be called an MMO at this point. But yeah, I think there's definitely room for anything that says Dungeons and Dragons on it in the MMORPG market. I think there always will be. I don't think that that's a name that gets ignored if it comes up in the MMORPG genre. I think players will flock to that. Players will at least be interested in it and watching it, and you'll generate a lot of buzz off of that name for sure if you've got something set in that universe. Now, whether or not you're the team that can pull it off,
that's the key.
There's that question. Yeah, and then there's the whole I roll my eyes every time somebody says they're going to revolutionize the MMO genre, because nobody does. Either you make a standard MMO that everybody recognizes as an MMO, or you end up not calling yourself an MMO. And
hey man, Stars Reach is trying to do it. Stars Reach.
And then standard MMO RPG players are like, if you don't want to be an MMO, I don't know that I want to play you anymore. So
hey Lou, my younger brother in chat saying
action RPG,
saying he would play it. I got him into WoW lately, so we got to see. He needs to get to 80 because we're waiting for number 4 to join our dungeon crew. Torchwick finally hit 80 yesterday, so here's my thing. I almost think that although he's using a lot of buzzwords and a lot of hype words and revolutionary, evolutionary, like all that, I also think he's not wrong, right? Because when you look at a traditional popular MMORPG, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy 14, all of those players, they are built on Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like they are built on the history of Dungeons and Dragons from the 60s or the 60s and 70s and just how they've evolved. So it is almost like, well, if you're going to make a Dungeons and Dragons MMO, we kind of already have that. Like one is just happens to be in the Final Fantasy universe. One just happens to be in Azeroth. One just happens to be in Guild Wars 2 fans are going to be mad at me in the comments. Tyria. Thank you. Tyria. Like you almost have to be revolutionary at this point, right? It is not just enough to say here is it, because then it just feels like a generic Warcraft, doesn't it?
To a certain extent, but D&D has a certain flavor to it.
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons has a certain flavor to it. Warcraft has a certain flavor to it. Final Fantasy 14 has a certain flavor to it. And one of the key elements is the art style and the way the game plays. So that is a direction that they could go without deviating too far from a standard MMO, framework. The problem with my brain wrapping around what he was saying in that article is that he wants to kind of bring the entire brand together into one thing, which was a D&D Beyond online, where you can create your character and stuff like that. I think is a good tool to use for standard D&D, but with an advent of a MMO, would they try to bring more of the MMO aspects into the standard tabletop game, which they did try to do in the past? I think it was 7.5, something like that. Back in the day, they had like little cards where you tap and stuff like that, and it felt like Warcraft, and it turned a lot of players off. So there's a whole lot of moving parts here that he seems to want to do, and some of it seems like good ideas. The MMO aspect is a good idea, but it should also operate as an MMO. Or else, like Troy said, you're going to turn off a lot of MMO fans. Like, if you're not going to be an MMO, why am I playing you? I'm an MMO fan.
Yeah. Yeah. It's there's room in my heart for a D&D MMO. That's all I'm saying.
There is. It just depends on.
Neverwinter was it for quite some time. But then they drastically went and they were like, hey, we would like to put this in your rear and have you give us money. And I was like, no, thank you. I'll pass.
We want all of your money now.
Yeah, right. I will pass on that. I appreciate the offer. But I'm gonna go.
And the combat that was good for the time is
Yeah.
really showing its age now too.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. If you are looking for something in the looter shooter space, remember this week is the release of Borderlands 4. And I know Havoc is excited, but he is not a day one. I talked to him yesterday about this, and he said, I don't know if I'm day one. I think I'm going to wait. I mean, one, the price point, right? We talked about that on the show months ago. But according to Randy Pitchford, this thing's going to have kind of a beast of a day one patch. Imagine that.
Don't they all?
Yeah,
don't
Randy
they
Pitchford
all-
saying the day one patch does a lot. That said, the expectation for using a below min spec machine should be that the game is unplayable. That the game, this makes sense to me, right? People get mad at this stuff, but it's like you gave me the minimum requirements. Like, that the game runs at all on your system is a miracle. That you can get 55 to 60 FPS out of heavy combat is actually incredible, given how the engine and what's going on under the hood. Your specification doesn't indicate if you're on SDD or HDD, but that could also explain some of the hitching. It's a big, bold, new, seamless world, and I'm sorry to say that older hardware may not provide buttery smooth performance for the latest AAA games, as has always been the case since the dawn of PC gaming.
So that's a given, as you said. It's
You
a
would
given.
think.
It's understood. You would think.
You would think.
You would think, and I mean, maybe it's a generational thing because, like, all of us here build our PCs, right?
Yep.
We build our own PCs. We don't order pre-built spec stuff. We piece it together, piecemeal it together.
Or you're building your stuff through individual specs online. I mean, I have had third parties put it together and just ship it to me assembled in the past too. But I have picked all the pieces in it. It was not like, hey, go to Dell and pick product C, right? No.
Right, but that the underlining thing is that we understand how it works.
Yeah.
So, like I said, maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe the current generation doesn't understand that. And they're used to buying a machine off the shelf and like with your PlayStation and your Xboxes and stuff, and it just works. But it's understood that if it's below spec, it's not gonna function.
Yeah,
properly.
I totally get that, but it just
it's
also
the way-
coming from
it's the
Randy
way.
Pitchford, man,
Right,
it just
right,
feels a little condescending. One,
It's the way he said it.
yeah,
That's
it
what I was getting
always
to. It's
feels
the way he said
condescending
it.
when
Yeah.
Randy talks sometimes.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's the messenger is maybe not the best.
That's it exactly. That's it exactly. It's not the message. The messenger just did it wrong.
Right. And number two, I feel like he's already kind of setting the stage for day one problems.
Oh yes.
Like,
I can
because
see that
that's
too.
kind of where I went with it. Was he was setting the stage for day one problem?
because he went on, like he put another paragraph and a half up on Twitter, and I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but it just like goes into more minutia on the first tweet where he's trying to say, yeah, the day one patch does have key improvements and optimizations. I just want everyone to have realistic expectations for performance. This is a big open AAA game, and lower end and older hardware may not perform as well as higher end modern PCs. I've asked for some assets to be generated to show a range of specifications and how they perform with different settings to help users decide. We're confident in the game's performance and optimization, especially given what the software is doing under the hood, a sentence he used in both tweets. He really likes the under the hood metaphor.
The hood. Yes.
Yeah, it's I don't know. We'll see, right? I just anticipate that the launch is probably going to be a bit rocky, Troy. And this kind of is like, well, I said if you have lower performing PCs,
right?
Like, we don't all have lower performing PCs, Randy. Like,
right?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's just specifically addressing that audience, saying, hey, man, if you don't meet the minimum specs, the day one patch ain't going to help you. Yeah, there's optimization stuff in there, and you may be close, and you think you should be okay, but you don't meet the minimums. Don't expect to be able to play it, because there's a lot going on under the hood.
Under the hood.
Under the hood.
It's always under the hood.
Under the hood.
Under the hood. He was all for Stop Killing Games initiative, though. Which, as much shit as I give Randy, I gotta recognize good when it comes to, right?
He's passionate. The
He's
article
passionate.
really read like he's very passionate.
He's always passionate
about what he's passionate about. That's good.
He's a bit of a snake oil salesman too, but and it hurts sometimes that he's a fellow magician, and it really hurts that he owns the Magic Castle now. But he says on the topic of Stop Killing Games, I've lost games and it's an emotional experience, so I admire the activism. It's a weird, challenging problem, though, because I think at the same time, if we're going to have any games that are sincere live services, it seems mutually exclusive to have something that's going to be a living thing that can't be allowed to die. I don't know how to get around that. And this is
he kind of went really existential there.
Yeah, then he starts like comparing it to literally in the interview, he starts comparing it, Troy, to like life and death of human beings. Not a joke.
Yeah.
That is legitimately what happened. But that's kind of one of the initial arguments that Pirate Software was making before that massive downfall this summer. That argument doesn't hold water to me, because the argument, not just gaming, but software in general, development in general, Troy, is about finding solutions. And so when you are confronted with the idea of, can we make a live service that in some way can survive as a not live service, individualized experience? And the whole initiative was not about preserving everything in its purest form, not saying, hey, take WoW offline, but still have it be WoW. It was about doing what you could to preserve those in certain ways. And yeah, you do have to get into details and minutia if you're talking about legislation, but this initiative was nowhere near that yet. I think looking at it through the, hey, I don't know how you marry up the idea of being a truly live service with a game that can also not die. Well, that's kind of how we change development, right? We didn't,
right?
We don't look at the introduction of AI and say, oh, we can't use that because of this. We say, how can we use that? What are the good ways that we could use that for? And I think looking through a slightly different lens, Randy might come to a different conclusion. He might not know the answer right now, right? His team may not know the answer right now. But if you start thinking through, how do we make a live service that does have a life after it's not a live service anymore? It just changes the way you start developing, not that you're now developing something entirely new. And there are plenty of people smarter than me in video game development that will figure it out if that becomes a need.
And just like the usage of AI, there'll be some wrong before they get it right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of wrong. But yeah.
Before we hit up some miscellaneous bits, this was the last bit of big news that I wanted to share. So excited. Bond is coming back to gaming. And it looks pretty good. I'm cautiously optimistic on that one. 007 First Light. We got a new gameplay trailer for it. It's been confirmed to be released sometime in early 2026. No dates or anything. We are going to be a younger Bond. Prior to being 007, he is in the MI6 like recruiting and training group, going out on some missions. Game will involve spycraft. That's going to use stealth and everything. And they say just as powerful as any weapon in Bond's arsenal. We'll see. Instinct, gadgets, combat. It looks great. Dexter Original Sins, Patrick Gibson is voicing our young Bond protagonist here, with a whole slew of other names in voice acting all across the business. It looks so good. Please don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up.
Yeah, that's my thing about it. Is are they gonna fuck it up? And the other thing is, it's been a while since I watched it, but wasn't 009 the one that went rogue in GoldenEye too?
Oh man, I don't remember. Hold on.
And if so, why are you keep naming people 009 if they keep going rogue?
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, Sean Bean. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't he 009?
Yeah. I love James Bond. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
absolutely
yeah.
love the franchise. Even the bad ones, even the ones that, looking back, yeah, that was assault, bro. That was assault. You shouldn't have kissed her. Like,
Yep.
like even going back and watching Mr. Connery and Mr. Moore and all of our friends there. Yeah, but I still love James Bond. I can't wait for this, Troy. I can't. Please don't suck.
Please don't suck. Please
You
don't
know it's
That-
gonna
that-
suck, right? Like,
Yeah, it's
Vampire the
about as bad as your
Masquerade.
vampire
I
game.
knew you were gonna say that. That's why I tried to say it ahead of you, because I knew you were gonna go with Bloodlines 2, October.
If it ever comes out.
Shut up! It's coming out next month.
Sure it will.
It's coming out next month.
Sure it will.
Hot Shots Golf, everybody's golf Hot Shots released, even Her Majesty's Secret Service. Yes, Dom. Yes. Hot Shots Golf, everybody's golf Hot Shots, which, by the way, if you are confused, let me explain it to you. Here in the United States, it was always Hot Shots Golf until the PS4 version, which got the name Everybody's Golf on it. And if you wonder where that title came from, it's because overseas, outside of the United States, the series has always been called Everybody's Golf. So with PS4, they tried to unify the title, and then they made it so confusing by naming this one Everybody's Golf Hot Shots.
Oh.
Here,
Okay.
It came out this week. It came out end of last week. I bought it yesterday. I'm a huge Hot Shots Golf. I have a very sentimental place in my heart. My dad and I played the Hot Shots 1 and Hot Shots 2 games for the PlayStation 1 hundreds of millions of times. My dad's, gone now. And so it's very sentimental, and I've always loved the games anyway, independent of that. So I've played every single one. I played a little bit of this. I've just bought it yesterday and just had a little bit of time last night to play like 2 or 3 of the beginner challenges type things. I've been playing it on PC because this is the first one on PC. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll get that on Steam. There's performance issues. So
I was gonna ask, is it as bad as it looks on the Steam reviews?
Yeah, the Steam reviews are a little critical, and I can't really say that they're all that off base.
Do you have the right hardware under the hood?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Your outdated system, Mike, cannot run this game.
Yeah, I shall look into that after the show now, because I'm streaming this from an iPad. Yeah, I was talking to Lou, my younger brother, who has been playing it on Steam Share today, and he's enjoying it too. And I did enjoy it, and like some of the core is there. I can't go into like the full controls and backspin reviews and stuff that I've seen where there's some differences here. It's not Clap Hands that made it, so we're dealing with a different company here.
Oh.
So I've got concerns. I'll be back with a more thorough review on this one after I've had some time to play it. Are either of you golf game guys? Troy, I could see you playing Hot Shots.
Yeah, I was looking at it and I was like, well, if it wasn't, maybe in a week or two, maybe I give it a
I
shot
told Lou
here.
today, I
used to
said I might wait till the first patch before I play this again.
Yeah. I used to play Tiger Woods golf on the original Xbox back in the day. A friend of mine owned an Xbox and we played a lot of Tiger Woods golf.
Oh, that guy that got beat by his wife with his clubs. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know who you were talking about there for a minute.
Okay.
That guy. Yad, are you a Hot Shots guy?
I have not played a golf game type situation since Nintendo Golf.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Just a bit.
But it looks cute. It looks cute. The characters, the characterizations, the overhype.
It does, but it doesn't look as
wing
good as the
power,
previous one. That's the weird thing. I don't know. I will give it. I'll give it its fair shake. I hate to be super critical on it, but yeah, it doesn't look as good as the previous one to me in a very early look. I'll be back with some more. Fortnite leaks indicate that Silent Hill is coming to Fortnite because there's a cross. Look at Troy just rolling his eyes. You don't want any Silent Hill in your Fortnite?
The crossovers are, I would say they're getting ridiculous, but they've been ridiculous.
And it's just a leak,
Like
but most of these Fortnite crossover leaks are true. Like They usually don't drop out of nowhere, and it looks to coincide with the launch of Silent Hill F later this month. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I love
It'd be
this
fun.
sentence in this article. It's by a site I've never seen before called Jang.com. Daily Jang. I love this sentence. Where'd it go? Oh, the timing aligns with the launch of Silent Hill F on September 25th, indicating this partnership could push the boundaries of the gaming industry. What?
Oh,
What? Push the boundaries of the gaming industry, because Silent Hill might come to Fortnite with some collaboration,
Some skins.
Just-
Oh wow.
redefining the boundaries of gaming. Yad,
Oh.
I'm going to need your help on this one. I specifically put this at the tail end of the show for you.
Yeah, I know. I watched the Vidoc.
Did you?
I did watch the Vidoc. Yeah, and the little bits they're showing for the Destiny update. Now, mind you, I haven't played in at least half a year, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Not since the end of the Light and Dark saga. It feels like they're just running out of ideas, and they need to kind of bootleg a different IP into theirs to try to attract players back. Because like everything that they showed in the Vidoc, there's like, was it the
I mean, they did the whole reveal today. I'm showing just like
yeah.
the preview thing that they had dropped
Right,
like a week
which-
ago. But their whole
which
reveal
I-
stream was today for Destiny 2 Renegades.
Yeah, I watched the 10-minute Vidoc. I didn't go for the full hour.
Right,
thing.
right.
That was a bit much. But like there's like the was it ATSTs, the little chicken walkers? They have versions of that, but they're not.
The little
They have the chicken walkers from Star Trek or Star Wars.
Oh my god!
Sorry, my brain's a little scrambled from watching that Vidoc. It was bad. Once again, the people in it seems very passionate about what they're doing, which is nice. But it all seems like they're making a version of Star Wars things for Destiny, for the Destiny universe.
Yeah, I mean, they were
And
careful,
making
though,
it
to say,
an
like,
extension.
this is a continuation of the Destiny story. This is not just
Right.
like an offshoot Star Wars story, just because we're mixing in some
Right.
Star Wars stuff. It is very much
Right,
Destiny.
Which if they did, I guess, purchase rights or get bought out. I'm not sure which. LucasArts is a part of it. So, it is all official, and they can talk about it that way. But it all seems like everything is a bootleg version of stuff in Star Wars, except for the lightsaber. That's the only thing they kept that's exactly the same as in Star Wars. It just feels bad to me.
Okay, so
I
I
don't
know
know.
Destiny 2 has been on some like down times lately. I've never been a
Yeah.
super hardcore Destiny player. In fact, like I've skipped whole expansions and then come back and been like, I think Troy, you and I did this. We came back for one and we were like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. There are too many systems
Dude,
in
yeah.
here now. Let's go play Lotro.
Yep.
Like,
It's because they kept one-upping the previous season with new shit.
I don't
what
know,
Overwatch plans
man.
to do.
Renegades does make me curious. Like, I think I might have to boot it up in December when it drops.
I mean, I hear they're overhauling the entire system again.
Good. Why not?
So-
It's not like I mastered the previous one.
Right. I don't know. I've had enough.
All right,
I'm
so
done.
I'm in.
I'm
Yod's
gonna
out.
go play Helldivers.
Noob,
Go play some
are you
Helldivers.
playing with me in December, or are you gonna go play Helldivers with Yod?
I'm pretty on the fence about this Destiny 2 Renegades thing. I don't know. It seems like they're just stretching and reaching for something desperation to try to pull some players back into the game. And I don't know that it's going to work.
That's exactly what all the designs felt like to me. It's like they're really reaching to try to get people in. Like they have Cabal that are color coded like stormtroopers and the Empire, and
At this point, just
they
make a Star Wars game.
I know, right?
I think you guys are
Like a
being a
Star
bunch of negative Nancys. I think you
It
are.
just feels.
I'm gonna give it a
bad.
whirl. I'm a Star Wars nut, so you already had me there. I'm the sucker. I readily admit that. Good. Dom will come with me. So I say, Bungie, in the words of the immortal Han Solo, make it so. Now let's go. 2 games of the week. Games of the week is the way we end every episode of Gaming Gumbo here. It's where all 3 of us are going to give you a game. Could be a video game, board game, card game, mobile game, something we're playing now, played in the past, or have never played but think you should check out. And while you're commenting about how Yod would dare to confuse Star Wars and Star Trek, let us know who gave the best recommendation, and you recommend one for us. Yod, we're going to go to you first.
Well, I learned last week that Little Kitty Big City got a DLC drop, so go play that. Go knock over some more shit.
Troy, what do you got?
Little Kitty Big City.
Yeah, you know you're going to play. Shut up.
Okay.
It's got some Star Wars
Composure.
DLC coming to it soon, too.
Yeah, right. So I have recently acquired a Grail game of mine, which is what in the tabletop world we refer to as a game that's hard to get, very expensive. It has been reprinted, so it is no longer hard to get or very expensive, and that is The Bloody End. As you can see, mine's still in cellophane here. I have played the game, but I just got this one in the mail the other day with the Carnies expansion. You're inviting people into your little hotel and murdering them.
Oh, sweet.
Trying not
So
to
it's a
get caught by
family
the
thing.
police.
So it's a family
yes,
thing.
It's a family game. Yes. So this has been on my wish list for years. It's been like $100 just for used copies of the base game. I got an email a couple of weeks ago that said, pre-order a reprint. I was like, instantly, take my $26.
Oh, yeah.
And then it wasn't not only was it not a pre-order, I got it within a week. And I'm stoked to get this unwrapped and get this played. So The Bloody End is next on my game table.
I figure if I've got to play everybody's golf hot shots and it may or may not be good, according to the Steam review so far, you should have to play it too. So join me and we'll come back next week and give you our opinions on it. That's going to do it for this week's show. We'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, with another episode of Gaming Gumbo, wrapping up the week in gaming. And then we'll be off on this show for the 2 weeks after that, as I have some back and forth travel to Nationals for Final Fantasy TCG. So that'll be the last little break, and then we'll finish off the year. So make sure you join us Thursday. If you're a fan of anything Square Enix related or the Relic Grind, hit us here, twitch.tv/ReadyCheckRadio, where we'll be doing at 7 p.m. Eastern, the Relic Grind show. We'll see you in 2 days for that. Until next time, Yod, where can everybody find you?
Are we really the wrap-up show, or are we the reset show? Because everything resets on Tuesday.
No, but it resets before the show, so we're still the wrap-up show.
Okay. Well, you can find me on Blue Sky and anything else except for Twitter as Yacht Artworks, and be a little wary though. Some of the things might be not safe for work.
He draws boobs sometimes, guys.
Yeah.
Troy.
I don't know. I don't really got any social media I'm promoting right now. Follow my Etsy shop for 3D printed material.
Do you want a dinosaur? I got dinosaurs. Come on down to Troy Blackburn, the New Fridge Dinosaur 3D Emporium.
Yes, sir. Once I get my Etsy shop set up, I'll let you guys know.
Sounds good. I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there at Magic Man 1, but more importantly, follow at RC Radio, RAIDEO, and you'll know every time we're going live with a stream, FFTCG, or a podcast. Stay safe. See you on the server.